Hi there, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nico and today we're going to be doing a Barnes & Noble haul. But before all else, go ahead and take a moment to pause this video, grab your absolute favorite drink, whether that be a soothing warm cup of tea, a piping hot cup of coffee, or if you are anything like me, I've got something that's nice and chilled. It's a dirty martini. Let's go. Salute. Mm. All right, now that we are both nice and cozy, we're gonna go ahead and see what we have in store for today's video. So, it's currently February 2026, but I'm gonna be a little technical. I'm gonna share books that were gifted to me over Christmas of last year, 2025. Why not, right? All right, here we go. So, first, I was gifted, well, technically, I think for my birthday and Christmas. So my birthday's in November. And then Christmas, I got gifted another book. So we're going to go first with my birthday. I was gifted this book. So this is Project Hail Mary. So I'm a sci-fi and fantasy fan. So this book, Project Hail Mary, it is based off, there's a film coming out with Ryan Reynolds. Scratch that. Ryan Gosling. Just as popular. Project Hail Mary. So it's a sci-fi book, and just let me read the summary on the back for you. A lone astronaut, an impossible mission, an ally he never imagined. Ryland Grace is the sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Except that right now he doesn't know that. He can't even remember his own name, let alone the nature of his assignment or how to complete it. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a very long time, and he's just been awakened to find himself millions of miles from home with nothing but two corpses for company. His crewmate's dead, his memories fuzzily returning. Ryland realizes that an impossible task now confronts him. Hurtling through space on this tiny ship, he must puzzle out an impossible scientific mystery and conquer an extinction-level threat to our species. And with the clock ticking down and the nearest human being light years away, he's got to do it all alone. Or does he? Project Hail Mary is a tale of discovery, speculation, and survival to rival the Martian while taking us to places it never dreamed of going. All right, so yeah, by the way, this book, Project Hail Mary, is from, I might butcher the name, Andy Weir. It is the author of The Martian, that film with Matt Damon, such a good film. All right, so that's that. I'm a huge sci-fi fan, so I have to try to read this before the film comes out. That was gifted to me. Now, this book I got for Christmas, Frankenstein. This is my top absolute favorite book. Frankenstein by, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Marie instead of Mary Shelley. I could be wrong. It sounds better that way. Anyway, Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus. This has been widely known as the very first sci-fi novel, even though it was written ages ago. This is my absolute favorite book. So this is what I was gifted for Christmas, because the person who gifted me that book knows that my absolute favorite book is Frankenstein. So this is my near and dear copy of that. This is when I took a British literature course at UCLA, and that is how I was introduced to this novel. And this is my copy when I was back at uni. It's got all my notes in it. It's really old and janky, but I will never part with this. It's got all my notes in there. Top favorite book. I've read it, I want to say 11 times. So yeah, so I was gifted this for Christmas. It's a nice pretty copy from Barnes & Noble. So yeah, all right. So those books were gifted to me. Now we're gonna go to the books that I purchased. I got them in January, so we're going to last month. This is what I got from last month. So we're gonna start off with um, Long Day's Journey into Night. So this is actually a play, and let me give you an idea of what it is. So I'm going to read off the back of the book. It says, the helplessness of family love to sustain, let alone heal, the wounds of marriage, of parenthood, and of sonship have never been so remorselessly and so pathetically portrayed, and with a force of gesture too painful ever to be forgotten by any of us. So yeah, this is a play first published in 1956. So I don't have too many plays, of course, as an English major. I did a lot. I did read a lot of plays back at uni. I actually played the role of Autolycus in what was it? The Shakespeare play. Oh my God! Back in UCLA, A Winter's Tale. I played the trickster figure, Autolycus. So yeah, I'm a huge play fan, but I haven't read too many plays outside of Shakespeare, so I'm excited to read this one. I've read some other plays, like more modern plays, after Shakespeare, but I'm trying to branch out more. And one thing I do admit is I will always judge a book by its cover. So whenever I'm out at Barnes and Noble, I'm sorry, I will actually buy a book based on the cover, and I like that. Look at that. That looks like an old-fashioned, or that just looks like whiskey on the rocks. That's it. It's just so simple, but it looks so pristine. I had to buy it. And just from that foreword that I read to you, it's from the foreword actually. It reminds me of a lot of Anna Karenina, you know, where the famous first line was like, not, what is it? It's like, all happy families are alike, but not all unhappy families are alike. Something like that. I totally butchered that. I'm currently reading it. I love that book. I'm still reading it. I haven't finished it yet. But yeah, it reminded me of that, so I had to pick that up. All right, so Long Day's Journey into Night. Look at that. Just feast your eyes on that. All right, so that out of the way. Next one, we're going to go to this novel. It's a Japanese novel. It's by Satoshi Yagisawa. By the way, sorry, I forgot to mention the author of this play, Eugene O'Neill. Eugene O'Neill. All right, so this one is by Satoshi Yagisawa. It's called Days at the Torunka Cafe. Look at that. That's so cozy. Look at the artwork on that. So let me read you the summary on the back. Tucked away on a narrow side street in Tokyo is the Torunka Cafe, a neighborhood nook where the passersby are as likely to be local cats as tourists. Its regulars include Chinatsu Yukimura, a mysterious young woman who always leaves behind a napkin folded into the shape of a ballerina. Hiroyuki Numata, a middle-aged man who's returned to the neighborhood searching for the happy life he once gave up, and Shizuku Tachibana, the cafe owner's teenage daughter who is still coming to terms with her sister's death as she falls in love for the first time. While Torunka Cafe serves up a perfect cup of coffee, it also provides these sundry souls with nourishment far more lasting. Satoshi Yagisawa brilliantly illuminates the periods in our lives when we feel lost and how we find our way again. So, of course, I had to pick that up. It's very cozy looking. Really excited to read this one. All right, and I was a huge anime fan back in my junior college years. It's huge. Like, I was big on anime. Top favorite anime was Naruto, followed by Bleach. Look at that. So this is actually my very first manga. I've never been into manga. I've always just preferred to watch anime. But when I was living in South Korea teaching English, my absolute favorite pub to go to was this dive bar, and it was a very tiny, cozy bar. It was very dimly lit. just my preferences for like drinking environment. I would go there. A lot of times I would go. It was in my neighborhood. A lot of times I would go there, even on a work night. I would go there solo, and I would go there to read a book, just to meet new people or just to read a book. Most of the time I went there with my mates, but I would like to go there solo as well, like on a work night even. And the owner of that pub, that bar, it was called Sound on the Pub. And the owner had a whole bunch of, behind the bar, a whole bunch of manga and anime figurines. Like he had quite the collection, a whole bunch of Gundam, like he had a whole bunch of Dragon Ball Z. He had figurines for One Piece, figurines for Slam Dunk, that basketball anime. He also had the manga for that as well. So I think this is going to be my very. I'm proud to say that this will be my very first owned manga, and that is Bleach. It's one of my second favorite anime, and I haven't finished the anime series, but my top favorite part in the anime was when they all had to save Rukia in Soul Society, which was basically heaven. So Ichigo, the main character, had to go up to Soul Society and save Rukia, the girl that was teaching him how to be a Shinigami or a death god. I think it's a death reaper. I forget. It's been a while. But look at that. Oh my god, Inoue is so pretty. She was like one of my favorite characters. She had like a she was known because she was known for her shield ability. Like she had 3 like fairies or whatever, and each fairy had their own like power that they bestowed upon her, and one of them gave her the power to shield. It was really cool. All right, excuse me. Quite thirsty there. All right, so there you go, Bleach. So those were my purchases for January of 2026. Now, on to this month, February. All right, so I'll start off with this one. So it's called Don't Let the Forest In, and this is actually in the Barnes and Noble's monthly reads collection. Honestly, I when I was looking at it, the very last word "in" was covered up. I only saw "Don't let the forest," and I couldn't see the last word. And I just, I glanced it over, and I was kind of debating on whether to buy it or not. I chose not to. Then when I went up to the cash register, I saw it. Like she actually recommended it to me. They had all 4 or 5 of the monthly reads over there, and she recommended this book to me because of the first book that I had. And she's like, hey, if you're into like horror, then you'll enjoy this book. So, and then I told her, I was looking at it and I couldn't see the first word. It was covered up at whatever counter I was looking at in the middle of the store. And then I decided against it, but now that you're recommending it, okay, I'll go for it. So it's called Don't Let the Forest In. It's actually a young adult novel. I haven't read one of those in ages and ages. The last young adult book series I remember reading was called The City of Ember, which is a post-apocalyptic series, YA series. And it reminds me a lot of that novel series, as well as the TV show called what is it called? I know that the book series is called Wool. It's been a while since I watched the show. I can't remember it right now. Oof. It's so sad I can't remember it. But it's post-apocalyptic. So anyway, that's the book that I read before. But this book, actually, it's, so let me read to you the very short description on the back. It says, Thomas had no idea that Andrew would do anything for him, protect him, lie for him, kill for him. So yeah, I guess this is like a LGBTQ plus literature. I mean, like I was reading the praise for this book, and it says, where did I see? Oh yeah, here. Drew paints, so they're talking about the author. Drew paints a gruesome narrative with visceral descriptions of monsters and the violence they enact while, with equal vigor, encapsulating the trauma of loss, disordered eating, bullying, and anxiety, all of which is counterbalanced by a gentle touch addressing asexual identity. So yeah, this is definitely like up there in like the queer uh, book community. So that's new. It reminds me a lot of. So I'm currently writing like a short story dealing with like fungi, like mushrooms. And this reminds me a lot of these books that I might as well start a collection. But it all started with this one. It's called What Moves the Dead. It's a very short read by T. Kingfisher. So I picked up this book on a whim just because I love the art style. Look at that. It's the carcass of a hare or a rabbit, and it's got like mushrooms growing out of it. So I got that as inspiration for my own short story project. And after that, I got this one, Entangled Life. This one's actually not Barnes & Noble. I got it off Amazon used, Entangled Life. So this is actually like nonfiction. It talks about like how fungi like interconnects with our lives and like the whole world. It's really good. I'm kind of like halfway through. I don't know if you can see my paper makeshift bookmark. Halfway through reading that one. And then I have this one, which is Evil Roots, Killer Tales of the Botanical Gothic. So it's a collection of short stories, all from like early British literature, all dealing with like how nature or what is it? Strangling vines and meat-hungry flora fill this unruly garden of strange stories, selected for their significance as the seeds of the villainous killer plant in fiction, film, and video games. So yeah, this is a collection of short stories featuring like killer plants. So definitely way up there. And then that goes into this, A Botanical Daughter. So this one is basically Frankenstein. This was featured in Barnes & Noble's monthly reads, I believe, a while ago, last year at least. Had to pick that up. It's basically Frankenstein, but they make a daughter instead of a son. So I had to get that. All right, so all of that from just this, okay? All of that from just this. All right, and the final book in today's video, this is City of Saints and Madmen. Of course, I had to pick this up because of my fascination for fungi. Look at that mushroom. So this is a sci-fi series, and it says here, in City of Saints and Madmen, Jeff Vandermeer introduces us to a cast of characters no less strange and compelling than the city of Ambergris itself. A would-be suitor discovers that a sunlit street can become a killing ground in the blink of an eye. An artist receives an invitation to a beheading and finds himself enchanted. An eccentric guide to Ambergris, written by a down-and-out historian, warns of impending doom for the city. And everywhere on the walls of courtyards and churches there grows an incandescent fungus of mysterious and ominous origin. For fans both new and old of Jeff Vandermeer, the Ambergris novels are essential reading. Welcome to Ambergris. We can't promise you'll leave untransformed. So I'm really excited to read that. This is the first of a series, and I love the colors. I love even the book spine. Like it just contrasts so vividly from the face of the book cover, right? I love that. So really excited to read that. This goes way up there in my my odd penchant for like mushroom books or whatever. Anyway, yeah, so those are the books for my haul from Barnes & Noble. I'm really glad to end on this. Like, that is a beautiful book. All right, final thing, I'm an English teacher, so my second job, I teach English, and I got something, I picked up something that I could use for my students, like just like a little brain break. So this is called Canoodle. It sounds familiar, but I've never seen it. It's basically like a puzzle, and it's got like, it's a 3D and 2D puzzle. It's got 228 puzzles. So it says, ready to level up your puzzle skills. Choose a puzzle, set it up, then race to solve it with the remaining pieces. Can you solve all 228 2D and 3D puzzle challenges? So I thought that was pretty cool. Something for my students to have a brain break. Obviously, one is not enough. I was going to test it out first, and then I'll buy a few. But it's really cheap. It's only $12.99. So it's a nice educational brain break, right? So, all right. I feel like I've overstayed my welcome in this video. Thank you for being here. My name is Nico, and I like to do videos, just vlogs of my life, and then share what's going on, and especially I love to share about what I'm reading. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. If that sounds like your jam, you've come to the right place. Without further ado, till next time, my name is Nico. See you in the next one. Salute.